Lead singer who doesn't want to be there, who wants to be fired. Then you get two other guys who don't get along with one another to the point that they have their own security crew, independent, each one of them their own independent security crew. What kind of journey is this? This is a journey into the psychedelic.
This is not a good journey, is what it is.
Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P, and I figured I'd bring together some of the topics that are hot this week in the world of rock and metal.
Okay.
And I want to start off with Journey. Not a journey into this video, just Journey the band. I don't know how familiar you are with them.
I know who they are.
Okay, so that's good enough.
That's all I really need to know.
So a story broke out. Now, there's two stories actually. The lead singer doesn't get along with the band. Not really surprising because it doesn't seem like anybody is getting along within the band. So him not getting along with them, it's not out of the realm of possibility. He asked to be fired on social media. Like, isn't that a weird thing to do? Why not just walk out of the band?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to be there, just fucking quit.
You don't have to be there.
So why go on? Why not just talk to them in person? Why go on social media and ask to be fired?
Yeah, wait, that makes no sense. Like,
is he trying to get the support of the fans? Is that it?
Yeah, but
is that kind of like that bro fight when you're like, hold me, I'm gonna get him, hold me, and then nobody's holding you? You're like, what the fuck? Nobody's holding me? Like, is that what's going on here?
Well, I don't know, because like, how do you fire yourself from a band that you're in? Like, well, how do you get fired from a band? Wouldn't it just be quitting? Like,
yeah, but I guess he wants severance. That's the only. If
he
you
doesn't want to quit,
you don't get paid, right? Like,
but he wants to get fired.
So maybe in his contract, if he gets fired, there's a payout that he has to. I don't know the details. I just feel like it's really strange and weird.
It's like Elon Musk tweeting, "Hey, can you
fire me?
Fire me from Twitter?"
I don't know. I just think it's fucking weird. And then two of the other guys of the band got into a huge altercation. So now they hire their own security company, like ex-cops or off-duty cops, to secure them while they're on tour together.
Jesus, like, just more money you're spending.
I know, but they're making like a boatload of money with every fucking show. So they have enough money to spend. But so you got a lead singer who doesn't want to be there, who wants to be fired. Then you get two other guys who don't get along with one another to the point that they have their own security crew, independent, each one of them their own independent security crew. What kind of journey is this? This is a journey into the psychedelic.
This is not a good journey, is what it is.
Oh my god, fuck. I can't believe that these bands are going through all of this stuff. It's
crazy.
Know.
It's going to end up with like one of their shows, they just get into a fight on stage.
Oh fuck, that would be great.
I'd pay.
For the audience. Maybe as the encore.
As the encore.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of money on your ticket. At least you want to get your money's worth.
UFC worth fight, you know, like.
Yeah, some I don't know,
haymakers just being...
Some Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz in their prime. Not now. Now it would be kind of like geriatric, but like in their prime. I'm talking about their prime. And then Corey Taylor this week decided to come out and name three bands that he feels like are carrying the flag of heavy music. Do you want to know who those three bands are? Or do you want to guess?
I just want to say, whenever someone does that, they're always opening themselves up to criticism.
That's true, but it's Corey Taylor. Everyone wants to know what he thinks about everything.
That's true.
So, do you want to guess? Do you want to give three guesses on the bands?
Can I get a hint? Are any of them bands that he's in?
No. Oh, fuck. That would be very narcissistic to just like, these three bands are carrying the flag of metal. Stone Sour, Slipknot, and me as a solo artist. Like,
I forgot what his other band was. Stone Sour.
Stone Sour, yeah, he was in Stone Sour before Slipknot. Anyways, do you want to give some guesses? One of them we've seen live.
Shit. To be honest, I don't know if I'd be able to guess this.
All right, so I'm
not the biggest.
Okay, so let me tell you.
What was their fan base?
Two bands I don't think you know, and one we've seen live.
But what's their fan base? The Slipknot fan base.
The Maggots?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think Maggots listen to those bands either. At least one of them for sure they don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost sure. Now, I'll give you the three bands. We can talk a little bit about it. But you don't know much about some of them. And then you can give me three that you feel maybe are carrying the flag of metal.
Okay.
Like new bands. He's obviously not talking about like the Slayers and Metallica. Those are
not new bands.
Yeah, new bands. So the three bands he named is Turnstyle. They're a hardcore band. They got nominated for a Grammy. They didn't win. The other one is Sleep Token, which is like everybody's talking about that band. Nobody knows who's in the band because they wear like masks and shit. Nobody knows who's in the band. I've tweeted out that I'm the lead singer of Sleep Token. I mean, for all that matter, I could be.
You could be.
You guys don't know. Nobody knows who they are, so technically it could be me. Everybody's loving that band. And personally, I don't like them at all. It's just like glorified pop music. Like, it really is.
What's the other band?
Bad Omens.
Okay. Well...
Do you feel like... Turnstyle... You know what? For as much as you don't know Turnstyle, I feel like they're doing some crazy shit right now in the scene. And they're... Okay. Turnstyle, I agree. I agree. They got nominated for a Grammy. For a hardcore band to be nominated for a Grammy, that's big.
Big, yeah.
That's big.
Because now you can't go off of what my favorite is. I have to go off of a band that's really
pushing. I'm talking about bands who are pushing carrying that flag.
Yeah.
But to me, Turnstyle, I'm okay with Turnstyle.
Okay.
Sleep Token.
I'm okay with Turnstyle too because of the whole Grammy thing.
Sleep Token, I know they're the hot thing right now. But, you know, Spirit Box was the hot thing a year ago. And somebody else was the hot thing a year before that. And whatever.
Who's Spirit Box? Exactly.
You know, I just feel like Sleep Token is just such I'm going to get smashed for this. But such an overrated band.
I took a little bit of the blow with the whole...
Maggot?
Spirit Box.
Oh, Spirit Box. I don't get the whole Sleep Token. They put me to sleep. I don't even need to take a token to fall asleep. They honestly, they're I just don't understand the excitement.
That's what happens when Token from South Park falls asleep.
I just don't get it. So Sleep Token, I don't get it. I get the point that if it's based on popularity right now, then I get it. But I don't see the people listening to I don't see Sleep Token as a gateway band to carry. First of all, they're not even. They can't carry the flag of metal or rock because their sound is not neither of those two things.
No, but like. Also, if they were to carry the sound, that means that what they've done is so revolutionary that other bands are now adopting this to move forward. And
this would be the new sound of metal going forward.
And one of those bands, some of those bands that come to mind are some deathcore bands who have really opened the gates for...
We haven't even addressed Bad Omens now, but I'm with you on where you're going.
Yeah, some deathcore bands.
I think Lorna Shore should be on that list.
Lorna Shore definitely should be on that list, but then you also have to give nods to other bands that were able to...
Dude, Lorna Shore is touring with fucking Gojira.
I know.
They were at Lollapalooza. How is that... How are they not carrying the flag of metal right now?
Exactly. And how much bands they've now, like...
Influenced.
Like
within the genre.
But bands that were already doing their thing and were like, hey, you know, this sounds really good. We should kind of implement some of this into our sound. So, definitely you should give a nod to Lorna Shore. And then, okay, now going to Bad Omens.
I would have replaced Sleep Token with Lorna Shore personally. I'm okay with Turnstyle. I would have replaced Sleep Token with Lorna Shore.
So are they saying metal or rock?
Heavy music.
Okay.
I think he mentioned heavy music. I mean, these descriptions are, you know, come as you are, right? Like, whatever. But to me, Sleep Token is just synth pop with some guitars. I mean, it really is. It's very atmospheric. It's very mellow. Like, puts me to sleep. It really does. Anyhow, and the whole thing of not knowing who they are, that thing is so overly done.
No, but...
Come on, so many bands have that shtick. But it's becoming a shtick now.
It is a shtick, but also some of them just don't want to be known.
I like saying shtick, by the way.
Yeah, but some of them may just not want to be known.
Don't give me that. Like, don't tell me that you're doing this for the art. Because that same guy who's saying that they're doing this for the art, 2 months later when they're selling out a show, they're complaining about the merch cuts. If you're doing it for the art, then don't complain about the merch cuts. You can't have your fucking cake and eat it too, you know? Like, I don't buy that shit. Nobody gets into music for the fucking art. Like, and the ones that do are doing indie shit.
But indie stuff makes fucking music, like, makes
okay,
money.
But you know, like, I'm gonna quote my good friend. I can say that now. My good friend Bobby Blitz from Overkill. His dad told him when he was a kid, the only reason you're getting into metal is for beer and chicks. And he said, it took me 25 years to say that he was right. Well, I can't believe it took him 25 years. But, you know, he said he was right. So, anyways, Bad Omens.
Okay, Bad Omens is a band I know, but I don't know if they're really taking the flag. I don't think they're really pushing...
The envelope?
The envelope. They're kind of doing what already bands are doing. They're just doing a good version of what some bands can't do.
They have a good singer. They have good sound. They sell out a lot of shows. But if you're going to ask for me to to put a list of 3 bands that I feel that are carrying the new bands, like New Blood, that's carrying the metal genre and the rock genre forward. Turnstyle, I'm okay. Lorna Shore, and then you have to put Ice Nine Kills.
Okay, yeah, Ice Nine Kills.
I feel like
Ice
Nine Kills is
heavy music. Because like if you're gonna put rock there, I'd add Ghost.
But to me, they're not New Blood.
No,
they've been around forever now.
Okay, but I mean, Lorna Shore's been around. Just because they have a new lead singer doesn't mean they haven't been around for a while.
But they're still.
But they changed up their sound.
I know, but they're still afraid. You can't compare Ghost to Lorna Shore in terms of longevity.
Of course, but what I'm saying is, the way they switched their sound is now what's making them carry the flag. They weren't carrying the flag with their old lead singer.
Turnstyle also has a bunch of records. It's not like they just released their debut.
But what
album
I'm saying
now.
is, it's the same thing with Ghost. With their newer records, is what's helping them carry the sound to other people who don't really listen to rock.
If we were having this discussion
and we were
3 years ago, 4 years ago, I would agree with you.
They still wouldn't be there though.
But at that time,
no, because at that time they weren't as popular.
They weren't, but they were brewing.
They were brewing, but now
they were what Lorna Shore is now.
No, because now. What do you mean? Back 4 years ago, they were not doing what Lorna Shore is doing now.
They were already big 4 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
They weren't as big as what they are now.
Obviously, and they're not playing arenas.
Now they are. So what I'm saying is, like, if we were doing, I agree with you, Ice Nine Kills, because they're doing heavy music. Because I don't classify.
And it was he put Sleep Token. He put Sleep Token on that list. Sleep Token is even less heavy than Ghost.
Okay, so then put Ghost on that list, dude. Even if you don't like Ghost,
to me it has nothing to do with that. I just think Ghost. They've reached a level where I don't think they're.
No.
They're there now.
I'm not saying it's you because you like Ghost.
They climbed the mountain and they stick the flag there already. They're there.
Yeah, but they're still. But raising the flag and pushing forward is still is still like,
I think he's talking more from an innovation point of view, because if you look at what Turnstyle is doing sound-wise, I mean, it's hardcore, but there's a lot of innovative elements. Sleep Token for sure has a lot of innovative elements, but I wouldn't even consider them rock or metal. And then you have Bad Omens, which to me, out of the 3, is the one that I like the most, but it's probably the one that makes the least innovative. Well, maybe not the least, but
they're the least innovative out of all 3.
Yeah,
right.
I feel that way, and I like them too. But how innovative is Battle? I don't know. That list to me just feels like he's just the first 3 bands that came to his mind is what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think my list is Turnstyle, Lorna Shore, but I think Lorna Shore, just because of their newest stuff, is what's helping carry not only them but the genre itself.
For them to be for a deathcore band to play Lollapalooza,
it's pretty big.
And for them to tour with Gojira,
it's pretty big. And then either Ice Nine Kills or Ghost. It doesn't matter. I know people are going to say Ghost is a sacrilege to put them there. But you have to... You can't look at them as the point of, oh, do I like them or do I not like them? It's the fact of what they've done, right? And you can also make the argument that they're not new blood. But who is really new blood when it comes to this? I mean, they're kind of... If we had, like you said, if you had this conversation 4 years ago, you said you put them, but I wouldn't, because for me they weren't big enough to really say that they were carrying. I know, but
the 3 that he put forward, none of them are really big enough.
Exactly.
So I mean, my point still stands.
All of them are gone. Yeah,
4 or 5 years ago, I would have put Ghost.
If you're defining them as carrying the flag, they have to be big enough to carry said flag. I don't even know who the fuck Sleep Token is. So how the fuck are they carrying that flag?
You're not missing anything.
Exactly. But, like, how are they carrying that flag? Carrying the flag means you're known, and what you've done has impacted people not only in your genre, but have impacted people outside of your genre, and, well, most importantly in your genre, but has also impacted people outside of your genre, and has done so much for said genre. Lorna Shore, playing Lollapalooza, does so much for deathcore, and not only that, their sound itself is helping bands that knew they wanted to do deathcore, but didn't know how they wanted to do it until listening to them.
Or maybe were afraid of trying something.
Exactly, and then you hear them do it, or you hear Carnifex do their symphonic stuff, or you hear...
or Of Sulphur now, with clean vocals.
Of Sulphur with clean vocals, or you hear Fit for an Autopsy with their clean vocals and their melodies and everything. So these bands are, I'm not saying that Lorna Shore is what helped those bands, but I'm saying collectively those bands have kind of, made those stones for Lorna Shore to carry that flag. I feel like those bands definitely should be
paved the way.
Yeah, they walked
Well, some of them not paved the way because of Sulfur is recent band coming.
But I'm saying some of them have walked so Lorna Shore and their new shit can run, right? Ghost. I'm just saying it because of how many people
I was shocked with the 3 that he picked, to be honest. Turnstyle okay, but
Ghost. I'm only saying just because of the big influx of Ghost fans throughout the last 2 years. So I feel like that's kind of carrying.
I'd say more than 2, but okay.
But I'd say it's carrying rock and whatever you want to call Ghost. Ice Nine Kills is a good one too.
Very innovative.
Very innovative.
What they're doing musically, visually, with the music videos.
It's not brand new to mix horror movies with metal, but the way
they do it is unique. The way they do it is
absolutely unique. So if you wanted to go innovation, perfect. That's a band perfect to put. There's so many bands they could have put. And
it's a band that appeals to metal fans. It appeals to fans of horror. And it almost becomes a gateway band even to metalcore and to heavier stuff. And
of course, because not every person who enjoys horror movies likes metal. I mean, definitely there is a correlation, but people who enjoy horror movies may listen to it, and then it builds the community. So I do agree with you. They are one of those bands that should be on that list. And then the last one, Turnstyle. I'm just gonna honestly,
on the Grammy alone, you're giving it to them.
For me, I haven't listened to enough of them to really say that yes, innovation. But whenever a band is nominated for a Grammy, especially a punk band, hardcore. Sorry, hardcore band. It's a pretty big deal.
All right, so let's finish this video on a sour note, not stone sour, but a sour note. Megadeth has announced a Canadian-only tour with Bullet for My Valentine. There's a third band on that list, but I can't remember. But I know Bullet for Valentine is on that list. And they're not playing Toronto. How the fuck do you do a Canadian-only tour with no Toronto dates?
So what you're telling me is they're only playing Montreal 2 nights.
They're playing Quebec City. Oh, almost the same thing. Quebec City, Montreal. I think they're playing Halifax.
Wait, they're playing Quebec City?
Montreal. Those are 2 of the tour dates. They're playing Moncton. I don't know. They're playing all...
What the fuck?
They're playing Canada, but not Toronto. Like, what the fuck, man?
Dude,
like, that's Canada's biggest city is not on that fucking tour? Especially when you're in Montreal and Quebec City. I mean, you're literally 5-hour drive from Toronto.
No, but that's also kind of, like, that's so dumb. Like, this is not the Ontario, like, Toronto...
Dude, it's the biggest city in Canada.
It is.
That's like you doing a U.S. tour and not having any shows in New York. It makes no fucking sense.
We are like literally the New York of Canada.
Exactly.
So you have to come here. I mean, I get why going to Montreal, and this is...
No. Montreal is...
Montreal, if you're a band coming to Canada, Montreal is definitely the stop.
Quebec City as well. Those 2 are sold outs guaranteed.
Sold outs guaranteed.
The metal community in that part of the country is massive.
Exactly. So I give... Big props to
the metal community in Montreal, in Quebec as a province. There's no other place in Canada that even scratches the surface. The amount of quality bands coming out of there, the amount of metalheads, bars, venues, promoters. There's no discussion to be had.
That's why I don't get...
I get that part.
But that's why I don't get so mad when a band does a North American tour, and if they have 1 Canada date, they do it in Montreal. I don't blame them. Right? Because if you're only doing 1 date in Canada...
Dude, but they are doing a Canadian tour. They're not doing a North American tour.
But what I'm saying is if you're doing a North American tour, but you only have time for 1 Canadian stop, or you only want to do 1 Canadian stop, I understand. Quebec, go there.
This is the equivalent.
But if you're doing a Canadian tour, how the fuck are you going... Well, obviously you're going to hit Quebec, but how the fuck are you not going to come to Toronto?
This is the equivalent of doing an all-Spanish tour and not playing Madrid. This is the equivalent of doing an all-Italian tour and not playing in Rome. This is the equivalent of doing an all-Finnish tour and not playing in Helsinki.
This is the equivalent of doing an all-Australian tour, but no Sydney and no Melbourne.
Or Perth.
You're really... Like,
and this is the equivalent of doing a Germany tour and not playing in Berlin. You know, like... No, we're going to play in Karlsruhe. Is that a city?
What?
I don't know. Like, give me a small city in Germany. I don't know.
Kaiserslautern?
Whatever. St. Pauli.
It's St. Pauli, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's so dumb. It's like saying, listen, we're going to hit up every...
Dusseldorf. We're going to play Dusseldorf.
No.
We're not playing Berlin.
Listen,
No.
We're going to do a tour, hit up Sweden, Finland, but our only finished show is going to be in Kotka.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? You're not gonna hit up Helsinki or
this makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, unless they're asking for a lot of money from promoters and nobody wants to put that money up front
in Toronto.
Because they don't think they can do it. Maybe they want to do a big venue. And once again, in Toronto, to do a big venue, you have to get a big promoter behind it, and nobody's willing to do it because they don't think Megadeth and Bullet from My Valentine are gonna bring all the boys to the yard.
Really? Like, do you not think, especially like Bullet from My Valentine, we've seen them in Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm sure Megadeth and them could sell out. I mean, Avenged Sevenfold sold out Hamilton.
Yeah, and the Hamilton arena is not small. It's pretty big.
It's close enough to Toronto to bring the Toronto people in and whatever.
Exactly. It's like how all the Hamilton people came here for the AEW event.
I agree.
Like, it's close enough, and we understand why you're doing this.
I don't know. I don't. I would like somebody to explain.
Oh, like the Sony Center. I don't think they would sell out the Sony Center though. I think that place in Hamilton definitely they would sell out.
I don't know. Obviously, the logistics. I know it has to do with booking and this and that. I know there's stuff that it's not privy to us. And there's probably a very logical explanation for it. But to the naked eye, when you announce an all-Canadian tour and there's no Toronto date, you left scratching your head and saying, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, you're also like saying, okay, I'm going to make all my money here, and then over here, and here, like, I'm not going to make as much. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I see them selling out definitely the Quebec and all that stuff. I don't see them selling out, like, fucking Halifax.
I don't know if they're playing in Hamilton.
Where are you going to play? We don't have many provinces to go.
No, there's not many big markets to hit. That's the problem.
What are you going to go, Saskatchewan?
And you're skipping one of them.
They're probably going to go to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, they probably build Calgary.
Alberta.
Yeah, Calgary. They probably play
BC.
I don't even know if they're going that far. I think it's more on this.
Dude, that place is expensive.
I don't know if they're going to trek all the way to the West Coast. They may just stay on the East Coast. But even if you're staying on the East Coast, you're still not playing Toronto. So
you're also not playing as many dates as
I wonder if they're playing London.
It's also not worth... What, London, Ontario?
Yeah. No, London, England. It's a fucking all-Canadian tour.
Dude, London, Ontario is in Ontario. Are they even coming to Ontario?
I can't remember. I just looked for Toronto on the list and I didn't see any.
Dude, look for Ontario, because Ontario is...
No, it's not the same thing. Playing in London and playing in Toronto is two different things.
No, because it's still in Ontario.
Okay, but London is like fucking 4-hour drive, so is Ottawa.
But that's also... It would have said... that's true. But wouldn't it say Hamilton, too, if it wasn't...
No, it's definitely... I would have seen Hamilton. I mean, I'm looking at... Like, I would have seen that, so...
You would have smelt it. You know.
I definitely would have smelt it.
The smell-o-vision. But, yeah, like, where are they going to go? Nunavut?
No. I don't know. I thought that... I don't even know what to say.
The Northwest Territories?
Yukon,
Northwest Territories?
I guess Peace Sells is a big hit in the Yukon. But who's buying it? That's the question. Maybe that's why...
It's sad. I don't remember every province.
It's not sad. It's just the state of our education system.
No, the Canadian education system's kind of messed because like you have to color the whole Canada and like color code every province. When you're color coding like the Nunavut in the Northwest Territories, Yukon, whatever you want to call it, it's a bitch.
It's not whatever you want to call it. Yukon is one thing, and the Northwestern Territories is another.
Whatever it is, it's a bitch.
They're not, PI. They're all different places.
Oh, PI is even worse because they're so small. So like one little thing, it's outside the lines. It must have been so easy for the kids of the United States to color code America or draw America. Like you
half of them cannot even point America on a fucking map.
Of course, but I'm saying you could probably trace America.
More than half, actually.
You could definitely trace America, like trace the border of America. How the fuck are you going to trace the border of Canada? You have so many little things to get. I hated doing that shit.
All right, on that note, guys,
Had to rant a little bit.
We'll see you all at the next video.
See ya.